Donald Trump is vowing to keep troops in Los Angeles until there is no danger as protests look set to enter their fifth day. An additional 700 Marines will arrive in the city in an attempt to subdue the protests on immigration raids. Mayel Gonzalez reports.
It's relatively calm here on the streets of downtown Los Angeles. The crowds that we saw over the last few days gathered around this detention center now disperse. However, what we have seen is continued presence of law enforcement. Los Angeles Police Department blocking certain intersections of this area. And then, as you can see behind us, the National Guard is standing by outside of the federal detention center. Another standoff in Los Angeles during the fourth day of demonstrations in response to immigration raids across the area. Law enforcement agents throwing flashbangs and firing rubber bullets at a crowd of protesters in the downtown area. Military officials say approximately 1,700 National Guardsmen are on the ground, with an additional 2,000 to be sent by President Donald Trump to protect federal property and personnel. This deployment at the center of a political showdown between the state and federal governments.
Judge Governor Newsom and the Democratic leaders of California weren't quick enough to act. I think President Trump did exactly the right thing.
California Governor Gavin Newsom declaring the call-up of the troops unconstitutional and is now suing the Trump administration.
With this order, Trump and Hegseth ignored law enforcement's expertise and guidance and trampled over our state's, California's, sovereignty.
And now more reinforcement could be on the way. The U.S. Northern Command activating about 700 Marines.
I can't emphasize enough the level of fear and terror that is in Angelenos right now, not knowing if tomorrow or tonight it might be where they live, it might be their workplace. Should you send your kids to school?
Now, those anti-ICE protests are happening outside of Los Angeles in major cities like New York, Dallas, Austin, and others. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
So, as we just heard there, tensions have eased somewhat. This is after a very volatile day on the fourth day of these protests in LA. You can see there a live shot of the National Guard standing idle in the streets there. Certainly they've got a fairly large presence. Donald Trump, the US president, saying that LA would have burned down if the National Guard wasn't sent in. That was disputed by Mayor Karen Bass and the Californian Governor Gavin Newsom as well. So that's a live shot of LA at the moment. Certainly we're not getting too much information from that particular shot about tensions on the street right now, but we'll certainly keep across the latest out of Los Angeles for you throughout the morning.